Our Chicago Bears mailbag is presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and use promo code BEARS20. That's going to get you 20% off, plus free shipping at checkout. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20 to get 20% off, plus free shipping. Get the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. It's a fantastic product. Now, on today's show, we're going to answer your questions, so let's kick things off with Warrior23 here. He sends in a $2 super chat. Bears will win the NFC North in 2021. Hey, I hope it happens. I think if Aaron Rodgers is out of the division, it's game on, baby. Anybody can win that division if that happens. Kevin Mckee, predict Justin's first touchdown, pass or run. Who will be on the receiving end of his first touchdown pass? I'm going to say run. Here's why. It wouldn't shock me even if Dalton is the starter from week one, that they don't have a red zone type of package for Fields or something like that. I'm not saying you want to do that a ton or even make that a focus of his, but he's too good of an athlete to not use. If Dalton's your week one starter, it wouldn't shock me if Fields got in there and maybe ran around a little bit. So I'll actually say a rushing touchdown. Good question, Kevin. Fernie, another super chat. Appreciate you guys. Tevin Jenkins is the hottest man alive. Love the show. Hey, you do you, Fernie. That is your opinion on that one. Appreciate the support. We have a lot of fun here on Chicago Bears Now. We'll show your super chats just about regardless of what the content is. Christopher, run that two tight end system. Yeah, Bears run a lot of two tight end sets, so even if Cole Kmet is tight end one, there's still going to be times where him and Jimmy Graham are on the field at the same time, and they do play different roles. Kmet more of a blocker than Graham is. So, yeah, it's not like if Kmet is the bigger, has a bigger impact, it's not like we're not going to see Jimmy Graham. Both are going to play. Shannon Jones, should Andy Dalton play the entire season if the Bears are in first place? So, this is a good question. Let's just hypothetically, the Green Bay Packers trade Aaron Rodgers, and the Bears are playing pretty well. Let's say they're like, I don't know, they're 8-5, and they're still in first place, and Fields is clearly ready by that point. What do you do? Well, number one, the Bears are going to be patient with Fields. If the Bears start 3-0 with Andy Dalton, it's not like he's going to go in week 4. But I'll also say this: remember the Miami Dolphins last year? They were in the thick of things. I believe they were 3-3 or 4-3. Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing pretty well. Very similar situation with Tua Tagovailoa in the wild card hunt. They still turned to Tua when they thought he was ready. So that could certainly happen with Fields, even if the Bears are in contention. The good news is Andy Dalton can hold down the fort as long as you need him to this season for Justin Fields. If 8 games have gone by and you don't feel like Fields is ready, just keep playing Dalton. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Fields, if he needed him to, could play week 1, but I'll continue to preach patience. I'll continue to preach a little bit of caution. You've got the next decade plus to think about, not just the first half of this season. So we'll see what happens. I think Fields will play at some point this season, just a matter of when. Who's going to start more games this year? You think it'll be Andy Dalton or Justin Fields? I think it'll be Justin Fields. I think we'll see him before the bye week, and once he goes in, he ain't coming out. AD for Dalton, JF for Fields. I'll type my JF, but I still I will stand by that I think Dalton will be the week 1 starter. ARRIGO MOUNGER, if we get Julio, do we trade A-Rob for a 2022 first and then take Chris Olave? Good friendly face for Fields. I guess you could do that. You could try and flip A-Rob to another team for a first. That clears the cap space to go get Julio. Maybe you get him for a second instead. You get that first back, go draft Olave. That seems like a lot of moving parts. Like in a perfect world, it's like, okay, it's not the worst idea, but a little bit of caution with Julio. Like he's 33 with injuries. I think the NFL is hesitant on him as well. I don't know how the league feels about him at this point. Bear down. Do the Bears need any more players on the defensive side? I'm still going to say I'd like to see this team add a corner until they restructure a contract or move a player like a Jimmy Graham or something like that by cutting him, or if someone wants to trade for him, which I don't think is very likely. You don't have the money to, but I'd like to add a Brian Poole. I'd like to add a Richard Sherman, but not a lot of movement right now, so we'll continue to be patient and see what happens. Anger management, Red Musket or Fields, who has more TDs and yards? Red Musket. I've never heard Andy Dalton referred to as the Red Musket. I've heard the Red Rifle. I've also heard the Red BB Gun by Warren Sapp. Fun story there. I'm going to go... I think it'll be Fields. Fields is going to play more than half the games, and I think he'll put up bigger stats. So that's just what I think. I think he will put up bigger numbers than Andy Dalton will, but I could be wrong. If the Bears are winning early, they'll be patient. They'll continue to play Andy Dalton. Now, we are presented by Manscaped on today's show, and you can get the brand new Lawnmower 4.0 for 20% off by using promo code BEARS20 at manscaped.com. This product is fantastic. You can clean your balls below, and you got the adjustable guard. No one likes, some girls out there, they won't tell you, but they like a little of a 5 o'clock shadow downstairs. Some don't like the fully clean shave, so you can use the adjustable guard. You can leave a little bit of a landing strip, if you will, at manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. You see the price difference when you use our promo code, 20% off. It's a fantastic deal. Take advantage. I love the wireless charging system. It's much better than the 3.0's charging system, by the way. Another huge upgrade for the Lawnmower 4.0. And as always, it's waterproof. Take advantage. Link in the comments, link in the description. Go to Manscaped today. Your balls are going to thank you. Joel Fernandez, trade Foles and Miller to save money and get another tackle. Perhaps. I don't think the league wants Nick Foles. You're going to have to wait for an injury probably to move him. Anthony Miller saves you like $1 million, $1.2 million, so that's not really going to help you out that much. But sure, in theory, you could save a little bit of money by trading those guys. Mikal Davidson, have the Bears signed any of their draft class, or are they waiting for after June 1st to make a move and clear cap? I do think they're waiting. They're in a bad cap situation. I know for a fact Fields hasn't signed yet. I don't think Jenkins has either. It's possible some of their later picks have, and either A, it hasn't been reported or it kind of slipped through the cracks, but I haven't seen any of them, but a lot of teams haven't signed guys. Cap situation's bad this year, and teams are being patient, so no rush to get that done as of yet, but better do it soon. Kevin Billups, between the second years, other than Jalen Johnson and new acquisitions on the defensive side of the ball, who has the biggest impact this year? Between the second years, other than Jalen Johnson, the new acquisitions on defense. So, like a Desmond Trufant, is that who you're referring to there? Hopefully him. That means you've got an equitable outside corner, but I'm not super confident in that. Another defensive player that you added, like Angelo. Oh, I guess, how about Eddie Goldman? You kind of reacquired him, right? Like, he sat out last year. I think he'll be the biggest name that didn't impact you last year that will this year. So kind of a cop-out answer, but I do think he'll have a big impact defensively. Have you subscribed to us here? Have you? I don't think you have. If you haven't, do it now. Hit that big red button and subscribe. If you have, type me down in the comments and let us know that you are a loyal Bears subscriber. I encourage you guys to do so. We're 100% free. We love interacting with you guys here on the channel, youtube.com/Bears. Now, don't miss any of our videos, and hey, type me if you've already subscribed. Christopher with another question. I believe both our tight ends will dominate. Okay. Yes, Jimmy is older, but he showed he can still make plays. The thing is, you don't really need them to dominate. League average, right? Like, can Jimmy Graham be a red zone guy? Can Cole Kmet take that next step? If you can, cool, you're in good shape. You don't need – this offense doesn't need George Kittle. They just need above average tight ends, which I think they have. Mr. Nobody, what role is Khyiris Tonga going to have in the future? Potential starter? Possibly. Keep in mind, 7th round pick. Bears have done a good job of finding these gems late in these drafts. That's something Ryan Pace has actually been really good at. I think he'll make the roster. Remember, he's got to make the roster first. He's 7th round pick. That is not a guarantee. I think he will be the backup nose tackle to Eddie Goldman, and who knows, down the road, maybe he does become a future starter. I think he does have a decent amount of talent. Chargers 35, Bears try and trade for Julio. Maybe a big deal in him and Fields and A-Rob might be good. Maybe a big deal, him and Fields and A-Rob might be good. Are you saying have all three of them? I'm confused by the wording at the end of that, Chargers. To simplify matters, I mentioned this earlier on our live show, it's financially basically impossible to have Julio and Allen Robinson. So pick one. Who would you rather have? That's what I would say. Elijah Pierre-Toussaint, imagine waking up tomorrow knowing your team is the Packers. Couldn't be me. Hey, it's been a long time that Bears fans can chuckle at Packers, right? But today is a new day, so good for you, Elijah. I think you deserve, you especially your longtime Bears fans, like the last 2.5 decades with freaking Favre and Rodgers. It's been brutal for the Bears. So, yeah, it's the drama in Green Bay is fantastic for Chicago. Give me a follow on Twitter at HGramNFL. We are out of time on today's mailbag, but luckily for you guys, I keep my DMs open. Hit that follow button at HGramNFL on Twitter and send me a Bears question. I'm always interacting with you guys on my Twitter page. We'll get that link in the description as well. And send me your questions. I'll answer as many as I can on my